remember I was 7 years old and our teacher asked us to do a drawing about what you want to be when you grow up. And I still remember to this day that little drawing of mine. It was a background all orange. And I said I wanted to be a journalist and I had a notepad. And cut to many, many years later, I started writing for our theater company in Rome. And then I transitioned into short movies and then features. And I felt maybe it was that little dream of that little girl. And fortunately, luckily, I don't know. I don't know if that's going to change. Hopefully not. But the way I write, it's actually very liberating for me. The only tricky part is that when I start to have an idea in mind and I start to write, I don't sleep anymore because I keep having ideas during the night. So I have to wake up, write them down for the next day. Hopefully I remember what I wrote because sometimes it's like, what did I mean about that? But, and I always say this to Dean, when I write, I really feel it's a little bit mystic maybe, but like a channel. Like if I really just have to listen and things just come and I just have to write them down. If I try to go in the middle of it and think, oh, this one maybe it's cooler, then it doesn't work. I just have to stop and try to listen. And I feel like I'm a channel for it. And I do also, before start writing, I do a lot of preparation. Like I start having my idea in mind and I map it out. I do first act, second act, third act, because I feel that every time I need to know where I'm going. And so I don't start writing until I have the entire story. That doesn't mean that then when I'm writing the actual scenes, I go in different directions, but at least I already know my arc completely. So I don't feel lost or blocked. Once I have the entire writing, and also I work the character as an actor, so I develop them too. So I feel like I have the story and I have my characters. Then I write, and I'm pretty quick because in a month I usually have a draft for.
It actually takes her longer to outline
Yeah,
than she 2, 3 months to outline it.
and then
And then 4 weeks later we have a first
yeah.
draft. And of course, every now and again I'll be lucky
Yeah,
enough
and then
to
sometimes I send pages just to
pages
make
or
sure.
notes and just be like, hey, is this what we were thinking? Because, for this one, it was really important for us that because we typically we would be used to doing dramatic, dramas or, something of that nature. But where we were in the world with everything at the time, it was like, man, everything's just so heavy. We need to
Lighten up.
and it's interesting because I feel like that's where my inner child, as she says, listened clearly for the first time instead of trying to force drama and dreary. But it was like, man, the early movies I watched really brought me joy. And that's what I love about cinema was the escape to go and just like experience a different world, a different life, a different dream for that time you were there watching a movie. So that was really both her and I, we were just like, this is what we have to, this is the kind of story we got to tell. Something with magic and fantasy and that takes an audience away and gives them an experience where they can feel alive and like take them away from the worries of the world and just forget about things for a while and just live in joy. And so like that was where we started before the idea, before, we were like, this is the sort of storytelling we want. And then she's like, stop talking, stop talking. Okay, I think I've got something. I think I've got something now. Leave me alone. And I'm like,
See,
great.
a little bit of Zoe.
So I'm like, great, do it because I trust her. Because again, this is Zoe, but then click, click, general, the no sleeping begins. And the idea, she listens to it and it pours out of her. And I'm just like, go, go. I'm hoping that she'll allow me to write a script with her because I write as well. Just not. I'm like Zoe. I'm like, how do I finish this? Oh my gosh, I can't ever get through this script. Where am I going? What am I doing? But I love writing too. I'm just my discipline with writing is it's a little bit more difficult, as you had touched on. It's a little bit more, it's challenging for me to